We are very lucky today. Our speakers are very concise and clear, so we're going to have more time for our debate, hopefully. Now it will be the turn of Mr. Szilárd Árvay, who's going to talk to us about the Danube region. Mr. Árvay is Chief Advisor of EU Strategy for the Danube region in his Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Budapest.
Thank you, Mr. Granara. So let me introduce myself. I am the guy who will talk about the Danube region strategy. First of all, let me thank the Commission, to GRC, ENEA, and also the Italian presidency for organizing this event and inviting me to present the activities of the Danube region strategy to this audience. And also let me thank for organizing it here in Rome, so to provide for us from outside Italy a good opportunity to escape cold weather and enjoy Italian winter. So the Danube region, as you can see, is quite heterogeneous. It consists of 14 countries, 9 EU and 5 non-EU countries. Germany and Ukraine are a little bit special because not the entire country is covered. It is a quite big market with 100 million inhabitants and with 1/5 of EU total area. As you can see, it's really heterogeneous in terms of economic development, as it includes the most developed states of Germany, so Baden-Württemberg and Bavaria, and also the less or least developed countries of the European Union, and also some countries which are not EU member states, but all of them would like to be member states, and they are also members of the energy community. And also, just to add here that today we heard a lot about consumers, what consumers want, and how do they behave. As you can see, in a region like this, you cannot speak about so-called Homo europicus, consumer type that is general, because there are totally different expectations about the energy services in southern Germany or in Romania. And I liked the term used earlier today about the energy cultures. And I think that map on the bottom right corner shows that there are many energy cultures. So the Danube regional strategy is a macro-regional strategy which was created in June 2011. Actually, it is a second strategy after the Baltic Sea region strategy of the European Union. And just a few days ago, on the 18th of November, a third strategy was started, but I will talk about this later. The strategy was jointly developed by the European Commission, the member states of the Danube region, and other stakeholders. And it's very important to stress that it is to create synergies and coordination between existing policies. There is a so-called method or a so-called hypothesis that this strategy, the Danube region strategy, should work with 3 no's, which it sounds quite negatively. It says no new regulations, no new institutions, and no new funding. But this region, I think it's proved in the past many times that it can achieve great results with very limited resources. So the strategy tackles these topics in 4 pillars and in 11 priority areas. And Why I'm here is because the Czech Republic and Hungary is coordinating the sustainable energy priority area, which is in the connecting the region pillar. And one might ask, what does the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade has to do with energy? The reason is that after the 2009 gas crisis, in many countries of this region, the position of ambassador at large for energy security was made. And also in Hungary, there is such a position, and now there is a quite strong department in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs dealing with energy security issues. The decision-making bodies are the steering groups. They consist of the representatives of all the countries, so they are experts on the field of energy. As you can see, one country could lead more priority areas. So, for example, Hungary is leading the sustainable energy priority area and 2 environmental connected areas as well. Our working plan was to start with policy coordination first, and I think that is understandable that after the 2009 gas crisis, all the countries wanted to have some kind of solution for that issue. So we made a gas market model for the region, which could evaluate the effect of infrastructure investments on the gas price on different markets in the region. And also we made a gas storage analysis to see that are there enough gas storages in the region, or should we build more to increase the energy security. And after that we turned to renewables. We used a similar model to make regional studies and to see the big picture. And we focused on biomass and geothermal energy. And as Ms. Donnelly said earlier today, that in 2008, when the set plan was started, there was a great emphasis on wind and solar or photovoltaic energy. And I can also say that now in this field, we don't see any major issues in this region. However, with biomass and geothermal, there are a big unused potential in the region. And also, so now we turn to project development. I will show you what I mean by this, because we also believe that what Mr. Menzen said, that we need projects to become visible. So, as you can see, we made some analysis, some regional studies. These publications can be downloaded from our website. And you can see that we used a threefold approach. So, our first aim was to coordinate regional energy policies. Our second aim was to enhance the energy market integration of non-EU countries, because we believe that the energy security of the region will be increased only if the non-EU countries, if the energy security of non-EU countries also increases. And also what is, I think, most interesting for the audience now is that we wanted to facilitate cutting-edge technology developments, and we concentrated on the smart grid concept. So shortly about the gas market model and the gas storage analysis. It was prepared by REC. It's an energy consultancy company. The results were introduced in the European Parliament in 2012. And also the model was presented in the North-South Gas Working Group of the European Union. And this model influenced the PCI selection, and it was used for the selection of projects of energy community interest. The steering group of the Danube region, which met in July in Prague, also accepted the joint declaration on the energy security. And now we just finalized the national gas reserve flow analysis made by Masaryk University. We also made a biomass action plan based on a Central Europe program financed European project called For Biomass. The work started in January 2013 and it was finalized in February 2014. This publication can also be downloaded from our website. Actually, we were faced with a lack of data with this biomass project, but we are preparing a project right now. Actually, the workshop was organized in November this year with nearly 30 institutions, and the project would establish a bioenergy statistical database and create a sustainability assessment tool. We also made a geothermal report and organized a workshop to build a project in November 2013. Now we have more than 10, nearly 20 participants in the project. That would be the result would be a uniform and transparent pool of geothermal database for the entire Danube region. We also conducted an energy training program in the Republic of Moldova in 2013. We had 4 training sessions, and the major aim was that the Moldovan experts in the public administration told us that they speak English, they can read, so they have no issues with reading the regulations. However, they would like to know the practical implementation, that how do you implement such regulations into your system. And about the Danube Region Smart Grid concept, that was made together with the state government of Baden-Württemberg, which is quite committed to support environmental technologies in the Danube region. The concept was further elaborated by the Regional Center for Energy Policy Research, and it included a kick-off workshop and an assessment report. And in the report clearly showed that the drivers behind the development of smart grids in the Danube region are mainly the reduction of commercial losses and the improvement of service quality, and not the need for integrating renewables to the system. To this kick-off workshop, we invited several experts, also from Italy, as Italy and Germany and the United Kingdom, they are forerunners in the development of smart grids. And finally, about our contacts with other macro-regional strategies, I already told you that the Baltic Sea region strategy was the first one. We initiated contact with them, and in April we organized a seminar in Stockholm where we could receive a presentation from Ms. Rota Sniuka from the Republic of Latvia. And now we have the third macro-regional strategy, the EU strategy for the Adriatic and Ionian region, which is the first strategy where Italy is included in such a macro-regional strategy. And also Italy, together with Serbia, is coordinating the Connecting the Region working group where the energy issues are included. So I think Italy will have a good opportunity to share its knowledge about the energy issues or the smart grids and all what was collected or put together in the past. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Árvay, especially for your last connection with the different the approach of the other regions of the European picture. So it seems that our speakers have provided us with an overall view of each region's problems and attempts to solutions. And in some cases we went into depth, such was the case of our last presentation. But of course there is room for questions, and I had a set of prepared questions here at the table, but I would prefer the audience to come forward and ask any questions they want to our panelists. We have 25 minutes, so there is plenty of time for our debate. Where from are we going to start? We have questions there. Could you please tell us your name and position?
Yes, Sergio Persoglia, CO2 Connect. I have a question for the last speaker. First of all, compliment, because I have seen the huge amount of work that you have performed. And my question is regarding the Mediterranean and Ionian area, to know if you are aware if they are so advanced in this kind of study or regarding energy, or if they just started. You don't listen? May I? You hear me? Your work and the question regards Hello.
Can I just suggest the next person putting a question on the table to move to the podium? So that would help us with microphone efficiency. Well, thank you for your questions, Mr. Árvay, please.
So this Adriatic Ionian strategy is quite new. The launch conference was in the 18th of November. So we had our steering group meeting on the 4th of December, so last week. And until that, we could only find out who the Serbian coordinators are for the energy, and couldn't find out who the Italians are. So the Serbian coordinators told us that it would be too early for them to come, because it actually hasn't started. But they will come to our next steering group meeting, which will be in summer, next summer. And I think by that time they will have more information. But I think if I consider our strategy that we started with an action plan, I think they have some kind of an action plan or roadmap prepared. But I don't have any other information. There must be information on the EU, the Commission website about this strategy.
Okay.
Are there other questions from the floor?
My name is Islam Mustafa from Azerbaijan Academy of Sciences. First of all, many thanks to Michelangelo for valuable and interesting presentation about Mediterranean energy balance, energy system and challenges, and etc. As you know, the Mediterranean area now has a great importance in view of transportation of Caspian oil gas resources into Europe by Baku, Tbilisi, Ceyhan, and new projected TANAP gas project. These energy resources via the Mediterranean area will transported to Europe. And as you know, about 4% of the oil in this case is spent to the own energy supply. As a new independent state, for Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan, Georgia has a great importance to create cooperation between European Union and the new independent states in this Caspian area on energy efficiency, low carbon technology. So it is very important to meet of needs of these countries to improvement of energy systems, energy transportation systems. The Horizon program of European Union has considered opportunity to create such kind of cooperation, and we are here to find out partner country, partner research center to develop new project in Mediterranean area with Black Sea, Caspian Sea area. Thank you for attention.
Did you get your question?
Not very clear, the question. You have, this is a very large subject. The synthesis is not simple. There is no simple answer for this. But number one, we do not imagine a system of transport of energy from south side of the Mediterranean energy, of the Mediterranean area to the northern area. The objective is to share resources. Resources means primary resources and power plant. Then the first priority in this moment is the integration of the south side of the Mediterranean region. As first phase for the integration along the direction north-south. Then is not a project of transport, but a project of integration in our approach. And this is the reason.
I wonder whether the gentleman is satisfied with the answer Mr. Cellozzi has provided, or would you like to have time for a more specific question? That's okay. That's right. So we still have time to take a couple of questions. Well, I don't see any question from the floor, so at this point I would like to ask Mr. Mazera, who set the tone of our conversation today, to draw some conclusions from this series of speakers' interventions and the questions that were arisen around the table.
Okay, thank you. I will try to, of course, to present my point of view. I think that a lesson, also following some of the statements of this morning, is that we began some years ago, 7, 8 years ago, mainly thinking in terms of technologies. And this technology push was needed, but we are now aware that's not enough. We need also to think in terms of systems, in terms of policies, in terms of markets and regulation, and in terms of regional approaches. Technology by itself is not the solution. It's a big enabler. We have to push technology ahead, but then we have to consider the whole dimension of the energy topic. The real needs are coming from the consumers, from the end users, and this was repeated once and again today. And there is a match between consumers' needs, policies, industry, and research. This is a big challenge. There is no easy answer. And from the Mediterranean to the Baltics, from the Danube to the North Sea, you can see that there are more open questions than ready-made answers. We in the Commission, the national authorities, the associations and industry are all trying to answer to these questions. But because they are not easy, I think that we shouldn't rush. There is no race towards finding an easy solution and try to apply them. We need to really reflect, to develop the right knowledge even for choosing among these potential solutions. And I think that, for instance, the presentation on the Mediterranean and the others were saying, no, we have to develop a knowledge. We are if we want, in a scientific knowledge-based society, and that means that the choices by the different stakeholders at the different stances of this decision-making process should be the best possible of them. Some of them can be done immediately, some of them will have to wait. We'll have to wait till the knowledge will be ready. And this is a learning process where knowledge bases, databases, knowledge sharing are fundamental statements. And the regional approaches are mainly about this, are about being together, sharing, gathering the right knowledge.
Thank you, Mr. Mazera. I believe that we can all share these conclusions. I don't know whether the other panelists are ready or willing to add anything to what has been said by way of conclusions. If not, I would like to thank you all for your kind attention and wish you a pleasant evening and a continued stay in Rome in the most pleasant way. Arrivederci. Grazie.